very good evening to all our viewers. This is WION Wallet and I'm Sumit Chaturvedi. Let's go straight to our top headlines. US headquartered e-commerce firm eBay is planning to merge its India operations with Bengaluru-based Flipkart. Indian low-cost carrier INDIGO instructs its pilots not to fly above 30,000 feet after technical snags reported in its engines. Legendary American motorcycle Harley-Davidson could end up becoming a sticking point between US President Donald Trump and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And Japanese automakers Toyota's luxury brand LEXUS today entered India with the launch of 3 models priced up to Rs 1.1 crore. Now straight to our top story. Multinational e-commerce company eBay is planning to merge its India business with Flipkart. US headquartered e-commerce firm eBay is planning to merge its operations with Flipkart's, and also they will merge other divisions as well. Both companies are planning to participate in $2 billion fundraising efforts. eBay India head Latif Nathani had quit the company earlier this month. To create a leaner structure, eBay laid off about 100 employees at its technology center in Bengaluru last November. eBay India had then terrified that there was some churn which was part of regular reviews of its operational structure, but had not disclosed any numbers. And to talk more on this big story, we are joined by our Bengaluru correspondent Nishita Virendra. Nishita, very good evening to you. What inputs do you have on this coming story?
Very good evening to you too, Sumit. Well, it seems like eBay and Flipkart have reached advanced level talks as far as the merger is concerned, and it could be a win-win situation for both these entities. Let's not forget that it was not just eBay and Flipkart, but last year all the major e-commerce giants of India, whether it is Amazon, Snapdeal, ShopClues, Paytm or Flipkart, all of them had registered huge losses. And what comes as good news for Flipkart is that this news comes just a few days after it managed to rake in almost 1 billion worth of investments, and it was expected that in the next few months they were aiming at raising another billion. If this merger goes through, as it seems like it's pretty solid so far, then the US giant eBay might be investing as much as $500 million in Flipkart, and that could also bring in Flipkart into the C2C category, the consumer-to-consumer category, which has been largely dominated by Quicker and OLX so far in the industry. So yes, things definitely looking up for Flipkart as well, and it gives it more ammunition, more power to take on its biggest competitor in the country, which is Amazon, which is already lined up $5 billion for India and has anticipated that this could be India is one of the biggest markets that they will be targeting. It has been calculated multiple times, predicted multiple times, even by agencies like Goldman Sachs, that India could have the biggest growing e-commerce market at least until 2030. And eBay, on the other hand, has largely shifted focus to US, UK and Europe, which have been its traditional markets. So by investing in Flipkart, they will be using Flipkart's expertise, its reach in southern and western part of the country. And if everything goes as per reports indicating that Flipkart being in talks with Snapdeal also goes through, then you could see the big bold merger between eBay, Snapdeal as well as Flipkart taking on Amazon in the next few months or maybe a year down the line, Sumit.
Well, Nishita, can you also tell our viewers why is there a need for this kind of merger? Once flourishing e-commerce industry, is it moving towards a consolidation, which is the final phase? Why is there a need for a consolidation between these two big giants?
Well, we have to understand that in the last 18 to 24 months, Flipkart has suffered a great deal. It has been struggling to compete with a giant like Amazon, which has money pumping in from the US. Flipkart, on the other hand, has undergone major structural changes. It has tried to retain its consumer base, and at the same time, it has tried to raise capital, raise investments as well. So eBay coming in will give it a sure shot $500 million as investments immediately. separately, that is adding to the $1 million that has already come in from Tencent as well as Microsoft. So it is not just Amazon that Flipkart is looking at as its competitor. We know that Alibaba is also looking at India as a market, and they will be entering the market soon. So Flipkart needs to be on its toes. So while Flipkart will be at an advantage to get the money from eBay, on the other hand, with most of its focus being diverted to its traditional markets, would want to be one of the stronger players in India as well, which is a growing market. It has been one of the most volatile, growing, as well as challenging markets for e-commerce sites. So eBay and Flipkart coming together, it seems like a win-win situation for both these companies.
Well, thank you so much, Nishita, for talking to us on this important subject and bringing us up to date with all these important developments as far as Flipkart and eBay are concerned. We should tell our viewers that these two big e-commerce giants are now planning to merge their operations. But after these big companies are planning to merge their operations, the India-based other e-commerce company Snapdeal has denied it is in discussions with domestic rivals. This Snapdeal has denied it was in talks for any potential sale. After the reports emerged, it was in discussions with domestic rivals for a potential sale. Snapdeal categorically denies having such any discussion having had with any of these partners in India. Snapdeal also said that the information is incorrect and without basis so far. Snapdeal said company is making progress in journey towards profitability and all efforts are aligned in this direction. The company said it is focused on turning profitable. Snapdeal also said there was no immediate need to raise capital unless it makes an acquisition. News from the aviation space, where Interglobe Aviation-run Indian carrier INDIGO and Go Airlines are first to fly the new Airbus A320neo and have been trying to find ways to deal with annoying technical snags they face with Pratt & Whitney engines that power the aircraft. And that is why INDIGO has asked its pilots to fly snag-hit A320neo's planes at a lower altitude of at least 30,000 feet and not the usual 36,000 feet to reduce strain on engines, even though if it will mean higher fuel burning. Earlier this month, the engine maker Pratt & Whitney said there were no safety issues in the planes and replacement engines were being sent to India when required. Still, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, or DGCA, has asked INDIGO and Go Air to increase surveillance of these planes besides specifying other restrictions on when and where to fly them. In January, an INDIGO flight had a so-called rejected takeoff at Mumbai. In February, a Go Air flight from Delhi to Mumbai had to return to the airport after an engine fire 15 minutes into the flight. In the same month, a Go Air flight had to make an emergency landing and an INDIGO flight had to fly minus passengers to Delhi from Baroda. Now, moving on to news from auto space, legendary American motorcycle maker Harley-Davidson could end up becoming a sticking point between US President Donald Trump and Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi. Peter Navarro, director of White House National Trade Council, said if India lowers the 100% tariffs it imposes on popular American Harley-Davidson motorcycles, it could result in more foreign investments in the country. He said if India agrees to lower its tariffs on Harley-Davidson motorcycles, Indian consumers will buy more Harleys and save less, while Harley will sell more Harleys and invest more. In his first speech to Congress, US President Donald Trump had raised the issue without naming India. He said American companies are taxed at one of the highest rates anywhere in the world. His economic team is developing historic tax reform that will reduce the tax rates on their companies so they can compete and thrive anywhere and with anyone. Trump had said this in his speech. After meeting workers and officials of Harley-Davidson, Trump said they were not even complaining when asked about their international sales and that they had been so mistreated for so long that they had become used to it. Japanese auto major Toyota's luxury brand LEXUS today entered India with the launch of 3 models priced up to Rs 1.09 crore at showroom Delhi. LEXUS introduced the RX Hybrid model priced at Rs 1.07 crore, RX F Sport Hybrid at 1.1 crore and ES 300H Hybrid Sedan priced at 55.27 lakh. And all these prices are ex-showroom Delhi. Lexus is entering the Indian market with an aim to tap the growing number of luxury customers, especially those Toyota customers who are looking to upgrade. On the occasion of this launch, I caught up with Lexus India Senior VP Ikitoshi Tekumura. Let's hear him out. Well, thanks for talking to us. Tell us about the India journey, why are you excited about India, and what cars are being launched today?
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, India is now getting very affluent. We see a lot of potential customers at the high net worth individuals. Now they are growing, indulging into the luxury. So I think this is the right time for us to bring our Lexus brand, which can cater to these great customers. And we have brought 4 models. The first one is our flagship, the LS sedan, which will be launched at 18 January. And the following, we have the flagship SUV, which we call it LX 450D. And another SUV, which we call it RX. This is a hybrid model. And also the ES sedan, this is also a hybrid model. These 4 models, we believe in that this kind of models will definitely be the choice of our potential Indian customers, because we have 4 reasons. The first reason is that see this design, which is very unique, totally different from the other models. And the second one is that the technology. We are bringing the hybrid, which is going to be the solution for the environmental issues. This moves with electric and petrol. It's a hybrid mix. So this is a really good, actually practical electric vehicle for the first step to come into India. And the third one, the important thing is that the Lexus has a Takumi craftsmanship, precision, details, quality. So it's a very high quality based on this Takumi craftsmanship. These are all about the product, but the last one, the most important thing for us is that, yes, we have a relationship manager who takes care of the customer, understand the customer needs, and give the full service to them, whatever they need. So we call it a mindset of omotenashi, which we would like to make sure that our customer is always happy.
Okay. And talking about Indian market, how confident about your sales doing well in Indian market, and what kind of sales you are looking at every year in India?
Yes. We are not chasing the numbers for this Lexus because we would like to be one-to-one to our customer. So we are not, trying to be, 1,000, 2,000, not like that. We really want to make our brand image of Lexus. So we have no specific target figures.
And don't you think you are a bit late about entering into Indian market? Like big luxury car players are already here in India. Don't you think you are a bit late in, talking and entering about the luxury market?
I think this is the right time to enter India because of this, high net worth individual people's growth of, they're becoming affluent. We see a lot of our, also Toyota Camry customers or Fortuner customers trying to get to the luxury brand, but we are not offering anything, so they are moving away to the different brand. So, and also another important thing is this environmental issue. We have to really take care of the India environmental issue by the hybrid. So that's why we think that this is the right time to enter the Lexus.
Moving on, the Reserve Bank of India has put 4 public sector lenders, including IDBI Bank and Indian Overseas Bank, under BSE watch and advised them to stay off risky assets so that their financial health is not stressed further. While UCO Bank also figured in the list, the name of 4th lender could not be immediately ascertained. Sources said these lenders were on RBI's radar as their financial health may not improve after the central bank's asset quality review, or AQR, comes to an end on March 31st. These banks have been advised by both the Finance Ministry and the RBI to improve their financials, look for avenues for capital infusion, and create a self-sustaining model by selling assets. They added, RBI had embarked on AQR exercise from December 2015 and asked banks to recognize some top defaulting accounts as NPAs, which is non-performing asset, and provide for them. India's current account deficit has jumped to 1.4% in December quarter. Analysts say CAD, or current account deficit, for Q3 provided a positive surprise, with the size of deficit appreciably smaller than expected despite the pressure exerted by higher gold imports and crude oil prices. Workers' remittances by overseas Indians after picking up in Q2 at $9 billion again declined marginally in Q3 to $8.9 billion in the same quarter, October-December. A year ago, India posted a CAD of $7.1 billion or 1.4% of GDP. Moreover, the services trade surplus stood at a fourth quarter high in Q3 FY 2017, which is encouraging in the light of growing concerns linked to global headwinds. Moving to telecom space, where Vodafone and Idea Cellular may have rolled out an ambitious merger plan, but how they handle a host of issues is going to be their true test. Revenue leakage due to the merger and lack of full synergy due to Vodafone and Idea Cellular listing and existing as separate brands under a combined entity is likely to mull over, and all this might be resulting in share losses. Experts expect that due to this merger, Idea Vodafone will lose 5% revenue market share in FY 18 and a further 2% during the network integration period. This implies their combined subscriber share will fall from the current 40% to 34.6% by March 2018. Staying with the telecom space, Bharti Airtel, a major telecom player in India, yesterday made an announcement that it will acquire 4G business of Ticona Networks, including broadband spectrum and 350 sites across 5 circles for about Rs 1,600 crore. Ticona currently has 20 MHz spectrum in 2300 MHz band in Gujarat, UP, Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh circles. After this acquisition, Airtel will be the second company after Reliance Jio in the country to have pan-India presence with second largest ecosystem of 4G services. Post-completion of the deal, Airtel will have 30 MHz in the 2300 MHz band in 13 circles, giving it enormous advantage to handle the surging data demand. With this is the time for a short break on WION Wallet. After the break, we will continue with our coverage of the markets. Stay tuned to WION. Welcome back to WION Wallet and straight to our market segment, where Indian markets today in India closed higher for second consecutive session, backed largely by banks and other index heavyweights. The 30-share BSE Sensex was up 89.24 points to 29,421 points, and 50-share Nifty gained 21 points to 9,108. We are joined by our guest today, Dhaval P. Vyas, founder and chief market analyst, DPV Investment Research. Good evening, Mr. Vyas. Thanks for talking to us and giving your time to us. We would like to know from your side, first of all, how do you expect this market to pan out in the coming week? Today week has ended, but what about the next week coming?
Hi, good evening. See, after many days, basically we are having a kind of breakout on a monthly basis. If we are able to close above 8940 spot levels in Nifty for this month, so that is what we are looking at. 8940 is a very crucial support which shouldn't be broken in case we want to continue the upward momentum. So that is what we are expecting, and we do basically believe that this will sustain. So overall, the kind of levels we are looking at is basically 9180, 9190 levels. Once we close above it, the fresh buying interest, buying flow will come definitely, and we can then look forward for the targets of 9450, 9700 in Nifty.
And Mr. Vyas, we would like to know from your side, what about the global market? How are they panning out today?
See, if you look at the global markets, maybe if you are looking at the USA or European market, then both of them have been basically kind of topping out for short term. So the upside potential from the current levels is definitely basically low. But overall idea is those are the markets where the upward momentum is quite strong from medium to long term perspective. So momentum is quite positive there. So buy on dips are the basically strategies for those markets.
And Mr. Vyas, what about the coming triggering points for Indian markets? They did very well last week. This week was up and down. But going forward, what are the main triggers for the market? Do you say that the result season is the main trigger going to be, or there are some more triggers that are going to be there for the Indian markets?
Definitely, result season will definitely impact. That is the trigger we are looking at. Again, advanced tax figures from the different companies which are coming basically. And again, we would be looking towards the monsoon expectations, whether there are any El Nino effects or something of that kind. In addition to that, we are also looking from the statements from the finance minister regarding the GST rollout, whether it can be finalized or not. So those are the things we are looking at. But overall, you should also look at the INR movement, because the INR has appreciated a lot in recent times. So now the window for further appreciation from the current levels is basically comparatively lower. So we expect somehow basically kind of depreciation in the INR, which will help the IT space. So you should be long in IT space for Indian markets as of now.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us today, Mr. Vyas, and thanks for sharing your thoughts with us on this note. Moving forward, and there is more news for our market viewers, where Policy Bazaar, an insurance comparison website, has turned lucrative and is preparing itself for an initial public offering or IPO. It is expected to go for an IPO by the end of 2018. Chief Executive of Policy Bazaar, Yashish Dahiya, had also said earlier that company is also close to raising a pre-IPO round of about $50 million from new and existing investors. This 8-year-old company broke even in November 2016 and anticipates significant growth and profits in the financial year 2018. Bank Bazaar has so far raised Rs 410 crore since its inception in 2008 and has started working with investment bankers to prepare itself for the IPO. Well, that's all for now for our WION Wallet viewers. For more news and updates, log on to our mobile, digital and social media platform. Thanks for watching us.